My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and associated licensed characters are the property and creative license of Hasbro Studios, DHX Media Vancouver, Lauren Faust, and Discovery Family, Discovery Kids, and Tiny Pop. Please support the official release. Moonshadow Mystery, also known as Compound Eyes and Moonlight Shadow, is the original character and creative property of Darren Self, also known as Moonshadow Mystery, the Changeling. If you would like to use this character for fan art or creative projects, please credit the creator and link to the DeviantArt account associated with the creator at the end of the video. We now bring you to your already scheduled program. With me, Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling. How is everybody doing this fine Wednesday, October 19th, 2016, as of the recording of this video? I apologize for the extreme, somewhat lengthy introduction, since I'm still trying to work out the thing with creating more enjoyable video format. And I'm sure many have noticed this already, I've been trying to incorporate more of a vocalized acknowledgement of the original creators of certain characters and licenses. But anyway, welcome to the Moonshadow Mystery channel. As always, I, of course, am your host, Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling, better known as Compound Eyes. Okay, maybe not better known. I actually prefer it if you wouldn't call me that, but it's out there. Anyways, everyone, in case you just clicked this without thinking, I don't know why you would do that. But as you more likely saw in the title, this is a supplemental video for the finale of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 6. Now, you may be asking, why did you wait a week to film and upload this? Well, everyone, I've been busy with other things. But I also wanted to get my thoughts together on this. Now, does that mean that I have reevaluated my thoughts from how I reacted in the video by watching the video again? No, I have not rewatched it yet. Although I intend to. Yes, I intend to, for I rewatch every episode. Sometimes multiple times. But that is not the point. I actually admit that I got my expectations a little too high. Why? Because unfortunately I had read the synopsis for the finale weeks prior to its airing. And when I knew it was going to focus on Starlight Glimmer and a ragtag group of second-tier characters, well, naturally the first ones that came to mind were Discord and Thorax. But they weren't the only ones. Ember. I was hoping and even praying that Ember, the dragon lord that we saw earlier in Season 6, was going to be involved. I mean, yes, I was disappointed. I wasn't extremely disappointed, but I was disappointed. Why? Because I would have liked to have seen, since we've already know, based on the finale, that changelings can imitate dragons, I would have liked to have seen if their grasp on trying to conquer Equestria extended to the outer reaches to the Dragon Empire. Now, maybe that's just me, but I was really hoping to see that. Especially because the way they treated Ember, the attention they gave her, we know she's more likely going to be a return character in the future. Just like how we saw through the return to Griffinstone, and then eventually Gabby Griffin making an appearance, as well as at least subtle callbacks to Yakistan, even though those events took place off screen, that we do get returns to previous things and to previous characters. So again, the treatment they gave her, I was kind of expecting she would return for the finale. Am I disappointed that she didn't? Well, of course, especially since I would have liked to have seen at least a little bit of juxtaposition or something that, they had retained communication somehow. That Spike and her had somehow remained pen pals. and that she was concerned for her friend because she hadn't heard from him in such and such amount of time. But I'm still, I actually still enjoyed the episode very much. It really, even though I got my expectations a little too high as far as Ember goes, I was still pretty much in the dark. The only thing I knew, and, well, I didn't really know it, I expected it, based on the opening with, the crystalline and the little hint at the changeling in the background, which was revealed to be Thorax. But I expected Chrysalis to make a return, and how amazing was it that once again, Chrysalis just blew our minds as still being this incredibly thoughtful, even more viciously so than she was in, the Candlelight Wedding. And, if you really want a good example of why Chrysalis is such an intimidating and amazing villain, go check out a video produced by Josh Scorcher. I'll try and link to his video in the description, but he really covers the basis on why Chrysalis is probably the best villain we've had in MLP to date. As far as, perma villains, not ones that have been redeemed. And I don't count... hold on. Yeah. My apologies, everyone. Ad-lib also includes interruptions by family. But... but yeah. Even Tire, Sombra, Chrysalis is the one. And the fact that she left, we may get a return appearance of her. Totally awesome. And I do not count the comics in this particular continuity. Why? Because there's still a lot of things up in the air on whether or not they can be relied on. Certain things in the comics are prequels to events that happen in the series. Certain things are, directly related to events that did happen in the series. It's just a really confusing mess. Excuse me. Some of it seems to go together, some of it doesn't. And so, while I would like to call, the Return of Queen Chrysalis, or the whole thing with King Sombra in the IDW comics as canon, I just can't. I want to, I desperately wish to, but I can't. If you want to know what I'm saying, go online. Go online, see if you can download them there. Go to Best Buy. Go to Hot Topic. Go wherever you can go where you can still get your hands on comic books. Best Buy is probably the one I would recommend the most. Best Buy and Hot Topic. Hot Topic seems to keep up to date with them for the most part. Best Buy, sometimes you can find back issues if you're lucky. But check out the comics if you've got the funding and if you've got a means by which to do so. Even if they're not directly related to, well, they are, but even if they're not technically considered canon by the show staff or by bronies in general, they are still worth the read. Especially The Return of Queen Chrysalis, which has a direct, impact, as far as the comics go, from the events of the Canterlot Wedding. And it just really highlights why Chrysalis is such an intensely vicious and enjoyable villain. I'm going to try and keep this video a little bit shorter than I usually do. But anyway, was the two-part finale this time around good? Speaking personally, yes. Was it the best? Arguably no. It really comes down to personal preference. Now, speaking from my own self, I definitely put this near the top of my favorite two-part finales. I wish Season 3 had had a two-part finale instead of the rushed finale it had. Unfortunately, due to the fact that that was transitioning from when Lauren Faust quit, the show staff, and they were trying to get themselves together after her to try and save the series, because a lot of people thought the series would end after she left. I can understand why they didn't. Even though the 2-part opening for Season 3 was pretty decent. I wish we'd gotten to see a little more of King Sombra, but again, all the more reason to look to the comics if you want to get a little more fleshing out of character, even if it's not technically canon. Even if it's not technically canon. Oh my lord, that was a horrible Dr. Evil. 1,000,000 bits. Okay, I'm quitting. Seriously. Of all my impressions, that was atrocious. Ugh. Anyways, this was a decent finale. Now, comparing it to other good 2-part finales, I'm not really going to can't really count Season 1's finale, honestly. It just wouldn't, I just couldn't. But Candlelight Wedding and this one really high up there on the list. Even though some things in the Candlelight Wedding felt a little bit rushed, again, this is a kid's show, you have to bear that in mind. Even if a lot of us fans are adults, we have to bear in mind it is written for children. And some children, not all, but some do have a little bit shorter attention span, so they have to kind of rush it in order to keep their focus. But Candlelight Wedding and the Season 6 2-parter, definitely high up on the list for me personally. Now, I really liked the Season 5 finale with Starlight Glimmer, and I definitely enjoyed the tear-wreck finale in Season 4. But, overall, they just didn't really hold up in comparison to Candlelight Wedding in this one, for me. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. For me. It is subjective. It all comes down to personal preference. For me, while I enjoyed T-Rex, I am much like Silverquill in that regard, in that I enjoyed him more when he was weaker and more cunning and manipulative than when he became, engulfed with phenomenal cosmic power. Yes, that was a little bit of a nod to the late Robin Williams. I'm not going to attempt to impersonate him very well too much. I already did a tribute to him in a previous video. Please feel free to check that out if you're a fan of Robin Williams. Even if nothing else, then other than just to, see another thing I'm able to do, because I did an impersonation/singing segment for a friend like me. Anyway, as much as I liked Tyrion and I liked the concept of a revamped Gen 1 villain, he was better when he was weaker. He was more intimidating, more cunning, and he kind of got full of himself. I would count Discord, but he did reform. Mine, he is still that kind of chaotic good, so there's still a lot of room for all kinds of interesting things to happen. Now, again, Starlight Glimmer, the same thing. But she did pose a much bigger threat than T-Rex. So honestly, as far as finales go, the Season 6er is at the top for me. The one with Starlight Glimmer is definitely at number 2. If for nothing else, then the fact that it kind of had a good little build-up for the potential of the Season 6. A Candlelight Wedding is definitely number 3. And I have to put the T-Rex one at the number 4 slot. Again, only because of my personal preference and that I liked him better when he was weaker. But what did any of you think? If you haven't seen my reaction videos, please feel free to go to my channel to find them. But I'll also include links in the description below for those who haven't gotten to see it yet. Fair warning, if you do go to see it, major spoilers ahead, because I do in fact react to the episode as it was airing. So, and even though there's no video, there is audio. So, spoiler warning ahead if you decide to click those links. But if you want to see more about what I was talking about with Queen Chrysalis, please go to Josh Scorcher, aka the Fiery Joker, aka Commander Firebrand's link, which I will leave in the description below. And I believe that's on his forward operating based Equestria account. So, again, I'll leave links in the description below. And hopefully you can go over there and maybe develop a little bit more perspective and opinion, if you haven't already developed one. Now, I'm going to be calling this video to a close soon because it's running longer than I intended. But before I do, and you can check these same links I'm about to show in the description below. But if you wish to get in touch with me in order to make suggestions for potential videos, submit fan art of my OC, which again you can see a personal little sketch I did of it in the bottom, or just check out other artistic endeavors I have done, you can message me on Facebook at facebook.com/darren.self.12, go to Skype and message me on Moonshadow Mystery, /Darren Self. My Patreon is still in development, so I apologize for even having it on here. I can't just white it out. You can check out my art on DeviantArt at greatdragonseru.deviantart.com. You can follow me on Twitter, while I occasionally will post status updates regarding art projects, videos, or just whatever, by going at Moonshadow_mist. Again, the mist is short for mystery. Unfortunately, there's only a certain number of characters you can use, but it works. Or you can message me directly at the Gmail associated with this YouTube channel, selfdarren1@gmail.com. And even though I don't have it on the list, you can also, if you happen to be a member of the virtual reality program, Skype, well, it's not really virtual reality, it's digital reality, but SecondLife, you can also find me by looking up Moonshadow Mystery, or what the account was originally named, Dark, capital D, ARK, Ryu, RYU. That's all together, darkryu. Then hit the space key and type in burner. Because I spent a lot of time in the digital world of Ponytown, the Ponytown Roleplay, which is a virtual Equestria. Well, virtual Ponyville, specifically. Which is connected to a couple of other brony populated sims, known as Trotsdale and Derpyland. So, if you happen to be in SecondLife and you want to message me over there, and maybe even get to know me as my character a little bit better, feel free to look me up over there. And again, feel free to message me on any of the links I provided, or if you have a suggestion or anything else, leave it in the comment section below. Now, if you like this video, please click the like button. If you disliked it, feel more than welcome to click the dislike. If you want to see more videos like this one, or just more videos by me in general, feel free to click that subscribe button. But before you do, I recommend clicking my name down above the video description and seeing what other types of videos I have to offer. Again, I've done sing and impersonation videos, including one of Discord and a tribute to Robin Williams. I've also done reviews of Dragon Ball Super and Steven Universe, but I'm also looking for other content. So again, if you have suggestions for future content, please leave it in the section down below or message me directly. And I'll do my best to get back in touch with you ASAP. And again, I apologize, this video is running far longer than I ever intended, but ad-lib does sometimes result in this. And I don't have an editor, all this is done by me. And again, I still intend on doing a video for All Hallows Eve, which is in just a couple of weeks. I mean, it's hard to believe that the month's almost over already. Where does the time fly? On second thought, don't answer that question. Starlight Glimmer might actually answer. And we don't want to mess with time magic any further. Unless, of course, it involves Star Swirl the Bearded. Come on, DHX, give us Star Swirl. Give us some backstory. Anyways, I am Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling. Thank you for tuning in. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and check me out on the links below. And as always, don't go changing for anyone but yourselves. And again, I intend on doing a Halloween video, so if you have any suggestions for it, please feel free to leave a comment on it. As I already said in my previous videos, I intend on doing one for Ghost Freak in the future. If you want to see a Ghost Freak dedicated video from Ben 10, let me know. If you don't, feel free to comment anyway. Until next time, every pony, don't go changing for anyone but yourselves. Later. Have a good rest of the week.